She had traveled to Alabama all the way from California to be here for this moment, and had managed to get in line early to secure one of the sold-out opening day tickets that gave her access to the Legacy Museum. So it was a surprise to Isoke Femi that the hardest part of her day was putting into words what she had just witnessed.
My experience in there is that it's so painful.
Built on the site of a slave warehouse in Montgomery, once the epicenter of the slave trade in the United States, the Legacy Museum, from enslavement to mass incarceration, is filled with exhibits that serve as a catalyst for understanding what blacks in the United States have historically endured.
5,000 blacks were lynched between 1880 and 1940.
Civil rights leader Reverend Jesse Jackson was an early supporter of the museum and the nearby National Memorial for Peace and Justice, an expansive monument and park that honors the victims of lynching and brings the reality of slavery's legacy out of the shadows.
We must face the truth of our origins. We are a post-genocidal, post-slavery, post-Jim Crow society.
But not a post-racial society, says Mark Potok, former senior fellow with the Southern Poverty Law Center.
You know, it is white people in this country, and in the South in particular, who are so averse to, facing the past squarely.
Potok says racism and bigotry, particularly in the state that now hosts this museum and memorial, are not yet consigned to the history books.
A very short time ago, the majority of white people in Alabama voted to keep segregated schools in the state constitution.
Jackson believes the biggest barrier to progress today is the one that keeps people from the ballot box.
There are 4 million blacks in the South unregistered to vote.
And that in many ways, that's the way forward. It's not beating up white supremacists in the streets of Charlottesville. It is really changing the people who represent us.
Isoke Femi, still reeling from her walk through the images and displays that deal with powerful and uncomfortable truths, sees hope in the crowds around her.
The love that it took to do this, the commitment, the courage, and the fact that everybody's here, that it's not just something that black people are coming to. Everybody, even if they couldn't form the words, they couldn't say the words, they want the healing. They want the healing of America. They want their hearts to be set free.
Kane, Farabaugh, VOA News, Montgomery, Alabama.